The Los Angeles Chargers will be ready to challenge the Kansas City Chiefs for the AFC West crown because of this 2024 NFL draft class. DP, I said it because I believe it, man. This was a really good class. Welcome to the draft room. We're about to start at the very top, man. And listen, the Los Angeles Chargers in the past, right? We know that they had a very unbalanced situation, right? It seems like they shot themselves in the foot more often than not. Then they make the head coaching change. They go to Jim Harbaugh, and then Jim Harbaugh, he builds this team like we know a Jim Harbaugh team. So let's start at the very top with their first round pick, Joe Alt. DP, initial reactions.
I mean, I think it was a great pick, right? He's one of the highest graded players in his class at a premium position, tackle. I think the only thing for me is just like, all right, who's playing right and who's playing left? Because Rashawn Slater is an all-pro left tackle who hasn't played right his entire NFL career. Joe took some snaps on the right side, mostly in the run game whenever Notre Dame wanted to go heavy, kind of offset their offensive line. But I think with getting him, you get a high-floor player. Guy's going to be able to protect Justin Herbert, get the run game going, especially in the zone game. And that's something that Greg Roman, their new OC, is pretty good at. The inside zone, kind of a lot of the power plays. And then Joe Alt's really good working as like a lead blocker from backside, GT counters, things of that nature. He's going to help that run game. I think it's Gus Edwards. They drafted Kamani Vidal. They also got J.K. Dobbins. Seems like, Greg Roman went and got some running backs that he's accustomed to it.
100%. Do you believe in moving Rashawn Slater to the right side and moving him on the right side and putting Joe Alt on the left side? Because he is 6'8", right? And he's a big boy. So do you necessarily want him on the front side of running plays?
No, I want him on. I'm moving him to the right. I think it's just such a tall task to ask a guy who's played that left side. You always talk about it, right? It's like going from writing with your right hand to your left. If you're left-handed going to the right, I think that's something I don't want to play with Rashawn Slater. I'd rather get Joe Alt accustomed to that early instead of moving the wily veteran, the all-pro. He's been a stud there when he's been healthy, and I think you stay with that.
Yeah, I agree with that. 100%. Listen, this was the most, this draft caught me off guard, but in a very good way, right? Because we know who Jim Harbaugh is when it comes down to principle. This is the same head coach. Well, he wasn't there, but his organization, his team, right, his program, they ran the ball the entire half against Penn State. So I wouldn't expect them to go offensive weapons, but they went offensive weapons early, late, and they executed. This was a Keith Sanchez type of draft. So I agree all the way with this draft. They went with Ladd McConkey. What can Ladd McConkey add to this? Because they went Quentin Johnston last year, right? And then now they add a guy like Ladd McConkey.
Chain mover, man. A guy that could play the Z or play the slot. And I think this speaks well to Quentin Johnston and how they believe in him to be that X, that bona fide X, getting rid of Keenan, letting Mike Williams walk in free agency. Now Ladd can go right into that slot in 3 wide receiver sets because you still have Josh Palmer, who's a bigger body guy himself, who will play more of that zero, guys. So I think putting Ladd in the slot, two-way go, giving Justin Herbert that security blanket, quick hitting, outstanding route runner, knows how to get to his spots and get open right on time. I think that's something that Justin Herbert is going to really be able to thrive with.
Yeah, I just think quick game, making it simple for Justin Herbert when you're coming off of that run game, play action type stuff, right? He's going to, and you don't know, right? They may shift the numbers to where you're going to have to go heavy in the box, have 3 linebackers, and now a linebacker is not running with Ladd McConkey, right?
That mismatch all day.
That is night over on that. But DP, I'm going to go to the end of this draft. I told you the front and the back end, they dominated. And I'm talking about 2 of my favorite guys, right? And that is Michigan wide receiver Cornelius Johnson, a guy that we've been scouting for a very long time. And then son of the Hall of Famer, Jerry Rice, Brendan Rice, and I really like both of those selections. Now, both of those guys are 6'1", plus threshold of 200 pounds, right? Those are fluid movers. Both can run routes. And both, if you ask me in my opinion, they're just scratching the surface of what they're going to be as wide receiver prospects. And I wouldn't be surprised if these guys have more extensive and more detailed NFL careers than college careers.
And the crazy thing about it, Keith, in this Greg Roman offense, you can't play receiver if you don't block. And both of those guys are going to get after in the run game. And Jim knows Cornelius. That was his receiver at Michigan, right? And I want to go back to Michigan real quick before we wrap this up. Junior Colson, getting him, there was a lot of talk about Kenneth Murray, him not, developing the way they wanted him at middle linebacker. They drafted Dion Henley out of Washington State last year. Now you compare 2 young athletic linebackers, complementary pieces. This defense could also see a little bit of upgrade on the second level.
Yeah, and you know, one of my favorite guys, that's why I say I love this Los Angeles Chargers draft from top to end. But, you know, I'm a trenches guy. I love the trenches. And they went with Alabama interior defensive lineman Justin Eboigbe, one of the most underrated players in this entire draft. He will be an impact player. What he will bring to this defense is physicality, something that's been missing for a very long time. We consistently talk, it feels like 5 years now, right, that we talked about they need to be able to stop the run. This guy's a textbook run stopper, right? He comes from Nick Saban. So, you know, he has the lock, peek, and shed method down packed. So, DP, we talked about the entire class, the class in totality. Draft grade, right? We came together. What draft grade we get the Los Angeles Chargers?
Man, they nailed it. We give them an A+, Keith. Outstanding draft to be able to get a weapon like Ladd McConkey, going and getting yourself a franchise tackle and Joe Alt, improve the defense on the second level, and then get some underrated wide receivers with great value, as we talk about with Cornelius Johnson and Brendan Rice.
Yep. Listen, consistent winning comes with a culture change. It comes with having talented players, and the Los Angeles Chargers did both of that in the 2024 NFL Draft.